guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a movie review. This movie is an action film from New Zealand. This is spoken in the Maori language with English subs, released in the year 2014, directed by Toa Fraser, and this film is called The Deadlands. So The Deadlands is set a long time before the white settlement of New Zealand, basically the Maori cultures. You've got one tribe who is a very peace-loving tribe and another tribe who wants to exterminate them. Basically, the leader of this particular tribe wants glory. He wants to lead his ancestors to glory, so he just wants to create all the carnage. But he needs an excuse to wage war upon this peace-loving tribe. So he makes an excuse. He frames the chief's son for something that he didn't do, basically desecrating an ancient burial ground for their ancestors, and this is a sign of war. So this chief makes everyone believe that it's the son responsible for this, and so this tribe wipe out this boy's tribe and basically kill everybody, but the boy manages to escape. So the boy wants to exact revenge, but he doesn't know how to. He needs to learn how to fight properly, and he needs to know what it takes to actually cause a lot of bloodshed. So he wants to venture into the Deadlands. Now the Deadlands is said to be inhabited by a monster who basically devours people who are foolish enough to venture into his territory, but the boy doesn't have anything to lose, and he wants to find out the true nature of this monster because he believes that maybe he can help him. So he goes in, and this is the start of his quest for vengeance, and whether or not he does get help from this mysterious but very dangerous presence and he can get the revenge he wants is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on The Deadlands. This is a very generic action film. This is an old-fashioned tale of vengeance, where someone has done someone a lot of harm, and that this person is now transformed to another person in order to do the right thing. So you've seen this done a million times before, but the reason why Deadlands works so well is because it's taking on a Maori culture. Now this Maori culture, outside of New Zealand, no one, pretty much, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know anything about Maori culture. And so when it comes to New Zealand, when it comes to Australia, we know about cultures from the white settlers and the modern day Australia, the modern day New Zealand, but it's the time before these white settlers that I think are the most interesting elements, because this is a culture that is a lot different from our world. And so I think this is why this movie works, is because it does have a lot of interesting elements to what is a very generic sort of formula, a very generic structure. So I really like the way that this film looked. The Maori language with English subs, it shows a lot of respect for it. The culture of the Maori world is very interesting. When I went to New Zealand, I was looking at all the Maori the Maori villages, and I'm very intrigued by it. And I'm very intrigued by Indigenous Australia as well. It's the time before the white settlers and how wild it was, and as I said, basically a different world. So this movie, it interweaves a very interesting culture with, as I said, that very standard generic action film. And so that is the reason why you can actually enjoy this movie as much as you do, is because it does have that side sort of interesting element that makes it worth viewing. And although you're seeing something you've seen before, you still feel like you're seeing something that is new. So I thought the movie looked absolutely beautiful. It was breathtaking. The cinematography captures the raw beauty of New Zealand. I mean, the lush green trees, just the mountainous areas. I thought the cinematography was absolutely phenomenal, and it just set up what was a very beautiful film, very surreal film, because you've got elements of the afterlife. And as I said, this is the Maori belief system, and because it is different, as I said, that's what creates a lot of interest. There are moments where this boy is talking to his dead ancestors, and it feels very surreal, but at the same time it feels very respectful. And so I really liked the way that the movie looked. I thought it looked very authentic. It didn't actually feel like this was a modern world. It actually felt like it took place centuries ago. So that was very impressive. So production-wise, this is great. I thought the action sequences were second to none. They were brutal. They were very fast-paced. There were moments in this film that reminded me of Apocalypto, where it's taking place in the ancient sort of world where it's a very brutal lifestyle. It's kill or be killed. And so you get a certain level of fear for this young boy as he's trying to realise who he is, and he's trying to, and he's understanding the true impact that vengeance brings, and the death, and killing someone, how devastating that can be. So you do get a little bit to these characters, and it's a lot more than I thought it would be, because I just thought this was going to be a mindless action film, but I got a lot more than I bargained for. I thought the element of the monster was absolutely great. I mean, that was fantastic as well. There's a little bit more to this presence than you would first think, and it does paint it in a very different way. And I thought the chemistry between this presence and this boy was very menacing, but at the same time fairly touching as well, because you felt that they had something in common, even though they're from completely different sort of mindsets. So the ending was very good, the ending was very good. It was very brutal. But as I said, there are problems to the film in that you have seen this action sort of formula and the structure of how it takes. As I said, young boy gets hard done by, he goes on a quest for vengeance. So you have seen it, and therefore you do know how this is going to finish. It's a very predictable film, but as I said, it has enough on the outside to keep you interested because it's rich in culture, it's rich in sort of the way of Maori thinking, but I just would have liked it a little bit better if it took a little bit of a more unique approach in the way that it was structured. So that was my only problem with the film, but all in all, it is a very good action movie. The action sequences are great, and it will promise what it actually delivers. So it will deliver what it actually promises. So that's something you want from a film, and therefore I can't really knock it for that. So overall, for The Deadlands, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Go out there and see it. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Next, thank you for watching movies, and I'll see you later.